Hello there guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United have just beaten Southampton by 3 goals to 2 at St Mary's. 8 successive away wins now in the Premier League for Manchester United, and it's 4 wins in a row in all competitions. We are now sitting 7th in the Premier League. And we overcame a 2-goal deficit. We was 2-0 down at half time. Obviously, the first goal was from Bednarek, however you pronounce his name. It came from a James Ward-Prowse corner. You've got to say Marcus Rashford was accountable for Southampton's first goal. And the second goal from Southampton was from James Ward-Prowse. From a free kick. Fred was the one that gave the silly foul away. So James Ward-Prowse didn't only get an assist, he also got a goal. But both of Southampton's goal came from set pieces. We, though, had good chances in the game. Marcus Rashford, he had a good chance in the second half. You know, Bruno Fernandes, he missed a sitter in the first half. Should have put it away. Mason Greenwood had a good chance in the first half. By the way, David De Gea went off injured because he banged his knee on the goalpost. This was obviously when he stretched out to try and save James Ward-Prowse's second goal. So obviously we brought Dean Henderson on in the game, and I thought Dean Henderson made an impact when he came on. I think he made 2 straight saves from Theo Walcott. Our goals, obviously our first one was from Bruno Fernandes. He took the goal very, very well. It was a lovely assist from Edinson Cavani. Then Edinson Cavani scored 2 goals for Manchester United and also got an assist. So he was the impact sub. Cavani also could have had more than 2 goals because I recall him having 2 other good chances in the game. Edinson Cavani did score late on. And I think Edinson Cavani has made a fantastic impact since he came in. Very, very good today. He was also very good against Istanbul Basaksehir when he came on. He was good against West Brom when he came on. He scored his first goal for the club against Everton, don't forget. And he almost scored with his first touch when he came on against Chelsea earlier on in the season. And I think now Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to start him, and I'm surprised Edinson Cavani didn't start today. He's not yet made his full Premier League debut for the club. But I think now Solskjaer will end up starting him. We got him on a free transfer on deadline day, and he signed a 2-year contract with Man United worth around 230 grand a week, and he currently wears that number 7 shirt. Marcus Rashford, he did very, very well in the game. He obviously got an assist. Like I said, he was unlucky not to get his name on the score sheet. Marcus Rashford has made a fantastic impact for Man United. He's improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Obviously, he was playing centrally today. But I prefer Rashford out wide, to be honest with you. He did start on the right against Istanbul Basaksehir. Rashford turned 23 a few weeks ago, and he has been part of the club for several years. So I think against PSG, we need to put Marcus Rashford on the left flank, or we need to put him on the right flank. Donny van der Beek, Now, he made his first start in the Premier League today. He was obviously playing in a deeper role, just like he was against Istanbul Başakşehir. I think Donny van der Beek made an impact, played some good passes through. And he was everywhere on the pitch. Donny van der Beek was also good against Istanbul Başakşehir. He's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Man United career. Donny van der Beek can play in like 3 different roles. You can play him as box-to-box, you can put him as number 10, you can put him on the right, but I think he's more effective in that deeper role. Now, Fred, I thought he won the ball back well. He was sloppy at times, but he lacked that creativity today, did Fred, if I'm going to be quite honest with you. Alex Telles, I don't think he was brilliant. I thought Telles put some good crosses into the box at times. He was a bit careless in possession at times as well. But I still think he's going to be a very, very good signing for Manchester United. Harry Maguire, I don't think he had a bad game either. He wasn't brilliant though. I think in the first half, he was all over the place, but then rejuvenated himself in the second half. Victor Lindelof, I think he did make a couple of mistakes, what I saw. And Wan-Bissaka, now, I thought Djempo, however you pronounce his name, for Southampton was causing Wan-Bissaka a lot of problems. Defensively did okay. He did get forward a couple of times, but not much, Wan-Bissaka. Didn't he? Matic, he surprisingly started today. The main explanation he started because obviously, there's no Paul Pogba. He's obviously out with an ankle injury. Solskjaer's hopeful that Paul Pogba will be available for the game against PSG. And McTominay is obviously out, so there's no other option. Martial didn't play any part today because it's been confirmed he's fallen ill. Luke Shaw, he's obviously still out with a hamstring injury. I think he's going to be out for at least the next couple of weeks. Eric Bailly, I think he's now available because he's just come back from a muscle injury. Now, yeah, we brought some substitutions on in the game. We obviously saw Brandon Williams come on. Obviously, Edison Cavani came on. And obviously, Dean Henderson came on, obviously, to replace David De Gea. But yeah, like I said, Southampton, they dominated the first half. There should have been at least 3-0 up at half time. David De Gea had to make a world-class save in the first half, don't forget. But in the second half, we didn't rest on our laurels and we just came out of nowhere and, got ourselves back into the game. When we was 2-0 down, I thought we had lost that game. I actually can't remember the last time we came back from 2-0 down and won. We did it so many times under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. And that reminds me. It gives you a glimpse, doesn't it, of the Alex Ferguson era. But yeah, we totally dominated that second half. Limited them to very, very little chances, didn't we? But there was still some good performance for Southampton. I thought James Ward-Prowse had a very, very good game for them. I think Theo Walcott had a good game for them. Che Adams had quite a good game. Stuart Armstrong, I think he had a good chance in the game. I think Ryan Bertrand did quite well for them. Obviously, Alex McCartney in their goal, he made a few mistakes, didn't he? Like I said, that Bruno Fernandes chance that he missed, came from a mistake from Alex McCartney. But yeah, Southampton will be very, very disappointed because prior to this game, they was unbeaten in their last 7 matches. And like I said on my preview, I said it was going to be a very, very close game because Southampton have done well this season and they have got a good manager in Ralph Hasenhüttl. But Southampton were consistent when they had Mauricio Pochettino. They were consistent because Pochettino guided Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League era, didn't he? Don't forget though, Southampton had two of their key players out. You know, there was no Danny Ings and there was no Nathan Redmond. So, like I said to you, we've got a very, very good record at St Mary's. You know, we haven't lost there for a while. I think we've only lost there once since the move to St Mary's. But yeah, you know, we are in good form now, and reflects on this, a lot of pressure would have eased off Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. The next game is PSG, you know, in the Champions League group stage. We only need 1 point to qualify for the knockout stage. We've won 3 games out of 4 in Europe, so we've been very, very dominant in Europe. PSG, they drew 2-2 with Bordeaux recently. You know, Solskjaer's already beaten PSG twice as a manager. He beaten them in the group stage earlier on in the season, and we knocked them out in the last 16 a couple of seasons ago. We won 3-1, and we overcame a 2-goal deficit because we was 2-0 down from the first leg. PSG did get to the Champions League final last season. Now, they've got some good players of PSG, like I've said to you. You know, they've obviously got Mbappe and Neymar, who are the 2 most expensive players in the world. They've obviously got Mario Icardi. I think he's just come back from injury. You know, they've got Idris Gueye. I think he's just come back from injury. They've got Juan Bernat. He's out with injury. They've got Julian Draxler. He's out with injury. Marquinhos, he's also out with injury. Kahera, he's out with injury if I've pronounced his name correctly. Obviously, PSG have got Ander Herrera and Angel Di Maria. You know, they are 2 former Man United players, so I think they'll be reuniting with us yet again on Wednesday night. You know, we've got 2 games remaining in the group stage. I'm very convinced we can get at least 1 point from our 2 remaining games. Our next league game is West Ham. You know, that's a game Manchester United should be winning. But yeah. But now anyway, I want to go into the player ratings from today's game against Southampton. So, David De Gea, he's going to get a 5 out of 10. He definitely should have kept James Ward-Prowse's free kick out. Obviously made a good save in the first half. I think David De Gea has done well this season in a lot of games. You know, there's games where he's made a lot of saves, but there's been games where he hasn't really had much to do. You know, David De Gea, despite that he's injured at the moment, I think he's going to remain our number 1 this season. This is his 10th season at the club, so he has been a long serving. There's a lot of Man United fans now saying, no, Dean Henderson needs to be our number 1. Now, Dean Henderson, I'm going to give him a 7 out of 10 because I thought he did well when he came on. Made, was it 2 straightforward saves to deny Theo Walcott. Like I mentioned, Theo Walcott looked dangerous to Southampton every time he came forward. And Wan-Bissaka, I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10. It weren't brilliant, but I don't think he was particularly bad. Like I said, Djempo caused him a lot of problems. Defensively, okay, and looked exposed at times. So yeah, he's going to get a 6 out of 10. We need to see attacking intent from Wan-Bissaka, and we're not seeing much of it, and this is why we've got concerns about him, and this is why it's been saying, you know, we're in search for a right-back. You know, this is Wan-Bissaka's 2nd season at the club. Victor Lindelof, he's going to get a 6 out of 10. Like I said, he looked sloppy at times, did Victor Lindelof. I've got reservations about him, definitely, but he's enjoyed some good games this season. Harry Maguire, he's going to get a 6 out of 10. Like I said, he was all over the place in like the first half. he was obviously the one that had to deal, was it with James Ward-Prowse, something like that? But there you go. But I think Harry Maguire has improved at Man United, because he did have early season troubles, didn't he? Harry Maguire is our current captain, and he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment, because we got him in a deal worth £80 million. Alex Telles, like I mentioned, he's going to get, I'd say, 6 out of 10, as he had to put some good crosses into the box, but he did look sloppy at times as well, did Alex Telles. Donny van der Beek, he's going to get a 7 out of 10. I thought he made an impact. Passed the ball well, won the ball back well. And like I said, he was playing in that deeper role. 7 out of 10 for him, yeah. Fred, he's going to get a 6 out of 10. I don't think he was too good, Fred, to be quite honest with you. Like I said, give that silly foul away for James Ward-Prowse's second goal. And I said he did win the ball back well at times, but I think he lacked that creativity, like I mentioned. So 6 out of 10 for Fred. Nemanja Matic, he's going to get a 5 out of 10. I thought he was sloppy on the ball, like I mentioned. Bruno Fernandes, he's going to get a 7 out of 10. He had a good game, Bruno Fernandes, apart from that sitter he missed in the first half. But Bruno Fernandes scored a very, very good goal, didn't he? And he did have some good chances in the game, so he should have had more than one goal. Marcus Rashford, he's going to get a 7 out of 10. I thought he made a fantastic impact. Like I mentioned, got an assist in the game. Also had a great chance. Should have scored. Mason Greenwood, he's going to get a 6 out of 10. Weren't brilliant, but it was okay. He was okay in the first half, was Mason Greenwood. Like I said, he had that great chance, didn't he? It was unlucky from Mason Greenwood. Like I said, this season, we have had a lot of issues with Mason Greenwood, haven't we? He's had a lot of off-field issues. Edison Cavani, 9 out of 10. Like I said, came off the bench, scored 2 goals for Man United, also got an assist. And he had 2 other good chances where he should have scored, Edison Cavani. Like I mentioned earlier, he's now got to start for Man United. Brandon Williams, he's going to get a 6 out of 10. So there you go. That is your player ratings. Now, I think a lot of Manchester United fans will be saying, keep Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the football club. But I think it'd have been totally contrast at half-time. Maybe at half-time there was a lot of Man United fans, saying that Solskjaer's no good and we need to get him out of the football club. You know what I mean? I still don't think he is the long-term manager for Manchester United, and I hope I'm proven wrong. Ole has been Manchester United manager now for almost 2 years. We appointed him in December 2018, and he's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. And he has got a contract with the football club until 2022. He's managed over 100 games for Man United in all competitions, and this is his second full season at the club. And I said if we could finish in the top 4 this season, and if we could win a trophy, that would represent a very, very good season for Man United. And I don't know if we're going to get top 4 this season. There's a chance we could get the top 4, isn't there? I don't know. But I think there's a chance we could win a trophy. We could win the Carabao Cup. We're into the quarterfinals of that. We could win the FA Cup. We won't win the Premier League, and we certainly won't win the Champions League, will we? That's one thing I do want to say. But yeah, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has received a lot of criticism as Manchester United manager, and I've criticised him when he's deserved to be criticised in that, because in a lot of his games, his team selections have been wrong. But on the other side of things, there has been games where he showed a lot of tactical flexibility. Now, I thought today, more or less, he did get it right. I think he should have just started Edison Cavani. That's what he should have done. And obviously he couldn't start Martial because he was ill. If Martial wasn't ill, then I think probably Martial would have started or would have at least been involved in the game. But I think the lineup we went with today is one of our best 11. Probably not the best, but one of the best. You know what I mean? But there's still a few issues that Solskjaer's got to solve at the club. Like I've said to you, he's got to solve the Paul Pogba issue. He's obviously got to select the right formation. Now, he has gone a lot with a 4-2-3-1 formation since he got appointed in as Man United manager. In like the big games, he's gone with a 3-5-2. A few times he's gone with that 4-3-3 formation. And obviously a few times he's gone with that 4-1-2-1-2. You know, what formation do you think suits our standards? A lot of people say 3 at the back. You know, some will say the formation we use today, and some will say the 4-2-3-1, won't there? But yeah, I have taken a lot of positives from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tenure. You know, he's made some good signings since he got appointed in as Man United manager. He's enjoyed 4 transfer windows at the club, and he's spent over £200 million. We have seen a lot of players leave the club since he got recommended in. He did well in his first full season last season because he got us qualification for the Champions League. He guided us to a 3rd place finish and guided us to 3 semi-finals. I like the way he's promoted the youth. So these positives to take. Now, as I updated you earlier on today, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been asked about a new contract at Man United, and he said that a new contract isn't his priority. At the moment, his priority is to lead the club to long-term success. And he says the team are going places under his management. Now, when we give Solskjaer the job permanently, he signed a 3-year deal, or was it a 3.5-year deal, whatever. But I think he's halfway or more than halfway through his deal now. Maybe talks over a new contract could happen at some point next year. You know what I mean? But if we keep this good run of form up until the new year, then Solskjaer could be Manchester United manager at the end of this season. Couldn't he? Now, it's obviously good that we are making plans for next year, because next year we're obviously looking to make more signings. Not only that, we're looking to get rid of more players because he's still deadwood in the squad. I think next year we'll be looking to get rid of Jesse Lingard. We'll be also looking to get rid of Marcus Rojo, Phil Jones, Sergio Romero. I think we'll get rid of him because he's now our 3rd choice goalkeeper. Lee Grant, I think he's like 39 now. I think he's only played 1 game for Man United. Lee Grant, you know, we've obviously got to get rid of him. Daniel James, could he go next year? Because he's been out of form, and, you know, James didn't play any part today. He's lost his place in the team, but despite that, he said he still loves it at Manchester United. Could we loan Brandon Williams out? He did come on today, but Williams is now our 3rd choice left back following the arrival of Alex Telles. There's obviously been rumours of Dean Henderson going out on loan, but Solskjaer said prior to the game against Istanbul Başakşehir that Dean Henderson wants to stay at Man United and he wants to play for the club. At some point, he will become our number 1, will Dean Henderson. You know, today was the first time he played in the Premier League this season. It's only because, you know, De Gea went off with that knee injury. Dean Henderson has got that experience behind him now, as you all know. During the summer, he signed a 6-year contract with Man United worth 120 grand a week. Matic, do you think he could be sold next year? Now, he has been playing recently, like I said, because obviously Pogba's not been available and McTominay's obviously not available at the moment. If they'd been available, then Matic wouldn't be playing because he did initially lose his place in the team. Juan Mata, do you think he could be sold next year? A lot of United fans were expecting Pogba to go next year as well. Paul Pogba made quite a few comments during the international break, saying that this season's been the most difficult period in his career. And he said playing for France is a breath of fresh air. And in general, he was talking about his Man United struggles this season, Paul Pogba. And reflect on his comments, he did receive a lot of criticism. But Solskjaer did say that he's backing Paul Pogba to improve when he does come back. He's missed now our last 3 games with this ankle injury, but this ankle injury is totally contrast to the ankle injury that he had last season. Now, where will Paul Pogba go if he leaves Man United? He could go back to Juventus, but more than likely Juventus will have to offload a couple of their players if they are to get Pogba. Players that are on high wages at Juventus, obviously. Will he go to Real Madrid? Because he did make an admission earlier on this season saying that one day his dream is to join Real Madrid. Before, Real Madrid have tried to offload a few of their players to try and get Pogba, and PSG and Barcelona have been in for him before. There has been no talks over getting Paul Pogba a new long-term contract at the club. He was unhappy when we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract earlier on in the season. But he's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him, and this is his 5th season at the club since he rejoined, Paul Pogba. So yeah, and like I said, Solskjaer needs more backing at the club, and hopefully he'll get more backing. Because during the summer transfer window, he wasn't backed enough by the board, was Solskjaer. But none of our managers have been backed enough since Alex Ferguson left. Moyes wasn't backed enough, Van Gaal wasn't backed enough, Mourinho wasn't backed enough, and Ole hasn't been backed enough. But Woodward came out quite a few weeks ago and said Man United remain absolutely committed to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, despite his having a poor start to the season. But yeah, the board have been one of the biggest problems at the club now for several years. You know what I mean? There's obviously been a lot of talks of Mauricio Pochettino replacing Ole at the club. It wouldn't solve a lot if we sacked Ole anyway. Pochettino's a good manager, but I don't think we'll get him now because it says, we've got to act soon. A few weeks ago it said Julian Nagelsmann was on our agenda. Massimiliano Allegri, he's also been on our agenda as well. We've sacked 3 managers since Ferguson left, and that was Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. And in the last 8 years, we've spent over £1 billion on players, and we've brought around 36 players in since Ferguson left, haven't we? We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, so we haven't won it now for like 8 years. But if we can make the right signings next year, then there's a chance, we can mount a title challenge up, even possibly win the Premier League. I'm still not convinced that we'll win the Premier League under Solskjaer, you know what I mean? But you never know, do you? But we need a centre-half next year and we need a right winner. They are the 2 priorities. Definitely. So, yeah. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.